Oil spills and marine snow.
What is marine snow? Well, no. Marine snow is actually a collection of small particles of organic sediment that collects at the surface of the ocean and slowly drifts to the floor, but it can look a bit like snow. It is made up of different microscopic organisms, fecal matter, algae, and other disintegrated material and organic matter. As they drop deeper, the particles grow in size. The bigger the particles of marine snow become, the quicker they fall to the seabed. So why do we care about marine snow? Actually, marine snow may provide some crucial information pertaining to cleaning up oil spills. Back in 2010, after the BP oil spill, 4.1 million barrels of oil were spilled into the Gulf of Mexico at Macondo. Hundreds of square miles of the surface of the Gulf waters were covered in oil. Soon after, marine snow began to form. The marine snow concentrations were much higher than usual near the surface, and oddly enough, just several months later, scientists noticed that the marine snow, along with the oil, had begun to disappear rapidly. There are three different mechanisms that could have moved the oil from the surface to the seafloor. In the first mechanism, the oil at the surface develops into mucus strands and forms a web of strings. After about a week, this stringy web collapses in on itself to form mucus-rich marine snow. Since it is very sticky, it has the ability to trap other particles and small organisms as it sinks. The second mechanism involved flocks. These are large, puffy particles that formed as oil molecules were attracted to other matter in the water. They aggregated as they collided and eventually stuck together. The marine snow formed from this method was more round and very fluffy. Two scientists, Ziervogel and Passau, studied the formation of marine snow. In their experiment, they discovered that this method would not have been likely for the formation of marine snow after the 2010 BP oil spill. This method required very high concentrations of the particles to form marine snow. However, Ziervogel and Passau found that the concentration in the ocean after the 2010 spill was not enough. The third and final mechanism was the merging of oil droplets within masses of cyanobacteria, or blue-green algae. The marine snow formed from coagulation of the colonies of cyanobacteria. Here, the marine snow turned green and had a more fluffy appearance instead of the typical stringy, white, thin appearance of marine snow. The increased level of buoyancy of the oil particulates made the descent to the seafloor much longer. Each scenario moved the oil from the Gulf surface to the seabed. Oil is made up of largely hydrocarbons. This spill led to a massive injection of hydrocarbons into the ocean ecosystem and created a profound change in the microbial community composition. This added carbon served as a massive energy input within this ecosystem, similar to what we were discussing in Module 2 with energy dynamics. There are millions of different types of microbes that exist on this earth. Some of these microbes are oil degraders, meaning they can produce surfactants. Surfactants can lower the surface tension between two liquids, which can emulsify oil. Two examples of aerobic hydrocarbon degraders that were found in the Gulf are alpha proteobacteria and gamma proteobacteria. These microorganisms use saturated hydrocarbons exclusively as their carbon source. In an experiment performed by Samantha Joy, researchers found that some strands of microbes increased immensely following this oil spill. The abundance of gamma proteobacteria increased by 100 to 300%. This was found by sequencing the rRNA of the microbes. Back in Module 1, we talked about evolution. The microbes in the ocean that can digest hydrocarbons have a better chance at breaking down the oil marine snow and reproducing. This is why the population of the gamma proteobacteria expanded so quickly. Passau and Ziervogel simulated the growth of these bacteria in their experiment using both oil-contaminated seawater and uncontaminated seawater. In their experiment, higher levels of bacterial cells were found in the oil-contaminated water than in the uncontaminated water. This suggests that any portion of ocean exposed to oil spills may have a greater change to the microbial community. The oil contained in the marine snow made bacterial growth increase significantly. Thanks to the marine snow, massive amounts of oil-derived material settled on the seafloor. The marine snow sank at a rate of between 68 to 553 meters per day. This was approximately 3.8 to 5 centimeters thick. These marine snow flocks showed increased cell densities and increased activities of carbohydrate-degrading enzymes. Once the oil marine snow reached the seafloor, anaerobic bacteria took over. Remember that there are low oxygen levels on the seafloor. Now that the marine snow with oil has reached the seafloor, the oil has impacted the ecosystem. It is altering the microbial composition of the depths of the ocean.
Created using Powtoon.